Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Saturday, December 29th, 2018, and I'm going to show you some sulfur dioxide levels around the world, and then we'll get right into the earthquake report for today. Now this is from CAMS from Thursday. I'm going to show you the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the sulfur dioxide over here, specifically on the eastern side of the map. We're seeing large levels coming up from Sicily or from Mount Etna, and see how it's swirling around. And then from this area, Uzbekistan up there, and then down here at Mount Krakatoa, that's still giving off sulfur dioxide. And then we have China, a lot of red over here, probably from industrial civilization, pollution, a lot over here in Mexico. Here's Hawaii, and here's Alaska. So that's what we have, major sulfur dioxide coming up. And remember, a lot of times the sulfur dioxide will come up before a volcano goes off or before an earthquake happens. It can be a harbinger of showing us these things. So now we're going to move the date up to Friday for our data, and let's do the print so that we can get a larger picture of it. I like the large picture where we can zoom in on everything. And we can see more sulfur dioxide from Krakatoa, and then actually coming up, it looks like from the Africa region. It's hard to tell where that's actually coming from, but the whole area coming across we can see is left over from the sulfur dioxide panning out and dispersing through this whole area. So the sulfur dioxide readings are definitely increasing around the world. So now let's go to today. They have their sulfur dioxide readings for today as well, because this is from Europe, so they're on ahead, they're a day ahead from the Western Hemisphere. So we can see a lot more sulfur dioxide coming up. Very dark areas from the Mediterranean over by Mount Etna, very dark coming across, and then more spreading out from Krakatoa. And there was a huge eruption, volcanic blast last night, right after I finished uploading my report. It came in at a 7.2 magnitude near the Philippines, between the Philippines and Indonesia. Then it got downgraded to a 7.0. So let's get right into that now. Got my earthquakes pulled up here. And all day, all magnitudes for the last 24 hours is 239 earthquakes on the map. And I'm going to start, like I did yesterday, with the magnitude, just with the magnitudes 2.5 and higher. There's 32. So we're going to cover the larger ones first, going around the globe, and then we'll look at the small ones and then just wrap it up. And I want to start down here in the South Pacific with this area. There was a 7, here's the 7.0. There was a tsunami threat. From what I looked at, it didn't really pan out, and I didn't see reports of any damage. I saw a couple of videos with shaking, but there wasn't major damage as far as I can tell. But it was initially a 7.2 magnitude, and it was 83 kilometers east-southeast of Pandaguatan, Philippines. So here's the Philippines, here's Davao, and here it was out here in the ocean, right by this red line, 60 kilometers deep. And that was last night. And then there was a 5.3 that happened at 1 o'clock this morning, my time. So a few hours later, and it was 67 kilometers deep. So there's those two right now. So we're going to keep an eye on that area. And then there have been some more over by Papua New Guinea. There's been a 4.6, 176 kilometers deep, and a 5.2, 45.6 kilometers deep. So, and then over here off the coast of Sumatra, we've had 3. There was a 5.1. You can see it blue that lit up. A 4.7, and then a 4.8 further south. Those were not very deep. I don't anticipate that those would have caused any damage from just that area. Then we've had over here, there was a 4.2 at Darab, Iran, 10 kilometers deep. Here is another one near Greece, 4.5 at Latakia, Greece. And remember that this is directly to the east of Sicily, and Mount Etna is still erupting. And remember, we saw these come up in pairs, so I'm anticipating that we'll see another one come up over here by Sicily, but we'll see what happens. This one just came in off the coast of Madagascar, 4.7, and let's come up here. This one was 5.5 at Japan. Let's see, it was on land. This happened at 11 o'clock this morning, 71 kilometers south of Obihiro, Japan, 58 kilometers deep. So that was on land. Then we've had a couple of small ones, or smaller ones, 4.6. And these are in the Kuril Islands over here. 109 kilometers deep, and 4.6, 57 kilometers deep. Those are considered part of Russia. So we can see all of those were on the red line. Now over here in South America, there was a 4.5 at San Antonio de los Cobres, Argentina, deep, 231 kilometers deep. we can see it's pretty far inland. And now I'm going to switch over to all magnitudes to finish this up, and let's go to Hawaii. And we've got 7 on the map here. 1 in the ocean and the rest on the mainland. We had a 2.2, 2.9, 1.9, 1.9, 1.9, 1.8, and 1.9. So that's still moving over there. Now going over to Dominican Republic. Some of these might have been in my report yesterday, just because it hasn't been quite 24 hours since my last report. But what we're seeing over here in the Dominican Republic area, we're seeing some larger quakes. We're seeing there were 9 here, and they're up into the 3s now. So we're seeing the magnitude increasing. So I'm just going to call them off: 2.3, 2.7, 3.4, British Virgin Islands, 3.1, Dominican Republic, 3.1, Puerto Rico, 3.0, Dominican Republic, 3.2, Puerto Rico, 1.9, and 2.3. So that's what's going on over there. Now, going up to the United States, we've had 2.5 in Edmond, Oklahoma, and a 2.9 at Hennessy, Oklahoma. And then up in the Yellowstone area, there have been 3, 2.0 Lincoln, Montana, 2.2 Lincoln, Montana, and 1.8 Lincoln, Montana. So we can see that those are all right at the same place. So we're going to keep an eye on those, because that's in that Yellowstone hazard zone there. Then coming down, okay, we don't see anything else up in the northwest United States. Let's go to Nevada. In southern Nevada, we're seeing some very small in southern Nevada, minus 0.1, minus 0.1, 0.4, 0, and 0.9. So we've got some microquakes going on down here. And then we've got Bridgeport, 0.9 at Bridgeport, California, 1.1 at Hawthorne, 1.0 Hawthorne, 0.9 Hawthorne, and 1.3. So those were all in the Hawthorne area today. That's common. And down in Carson City, we've got 3, 4. Okay, this lone one over here, they're calling that at Indian Hills. That's a 0.1. So 0.2, 0.9, and 0.7. This is on Prison Hill again. We've seen those over there. That's common. So nothing else, nothing up at Pyramid Lake or right across the border in California. Now let's go down here. So 1.1 in Gardnerville. Actually, south of Gardnerville, and it was over the California line. Here's a small one at Bridgeport, a 0.9 in Mono Valley, a 0.9 at Mammoth Lakes, 1.9 at Meadow Creek. So that's coming on down through California. Nothing coming down through Death Valley. Now in Southern California, on the map right here, we've got 53. So remember, we've got this swarm down here. So we'll just look around at the size of these. These are under ones and one in the ones and under one. So that's an active area down there. So 53 in our view here. And so if we zoom in, we can see a whole bunch of them right down here at Kauai. Again, 24 of them. So about half of them are right down here. And then coming up on the San Andreas Fault, we've got a 2.2 at Pinnacles, 1.7 Martin, California, 1.8 Pacheco, 0.9 Richmond Heights, 1.8 Pingrove, and then here's the geysers, and we've got 11 on the map here at the geysers, from 1s up to 2.2 it looks like. So let's move on up. Oh, here's one. I missed these right up here. Here's 1.2 at Quincy, 0.7 Quincy, and 0.5 at Portola. So there's those. Now let's go on up to Alaska and we'll finish it up. This will be a short report tonight, so I can get this up and get some rest. And watch, as soon as I get this uploaded, we'll have some big earthquake come in. I hope not, but that's the way it seems to happen. Okay, in our viewing area we have 113 showing, including over here on the right. But the majority of them are still up here at Anchorage, and then they're peppered through. Looks like they're smaller today. They're not up in the 3s, they're in the 2s. Oh, here's a 3.4 at Big Lake, which is where Big Lake and Anchorage area, which is where that large one came in before. Here's a 2.4 at Redoubt Volcano. Here's a 3.4 Big Lake. Then these are in the 2s and 1s. And 2s and 1s there. So, and just to zoom in to show you the Anchorage area and how clustered up those small ones are still. That's 87 right there. So the majority of them are right there in that region. So let's zoom back out and see if anything else has come in while I was doing my report. I don't see anything major. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And just to remind everyone that time is short, and if you haven't done so already, I recommend you get your spiritual house in order and get right with God and Jesus, because no one knows the day or the hour. And you want to go ahead and make your stand, take your stand, and make your decision while you still have a chance before it's too late. I love all of you, and until next time, God bless you, and go in peace, and good night.